end your question. And yeah, so we go live. All right. So good afternoon to all the participants of today afternoon. It's siesta time, but these are challenging times. So instead of going on siesta, we decided today that why don't we use the expertise of the Additional Director General from the Directorate General of Foreign Trade, Ms. Suman Sharma, to talk to us about the SEIS scheme, which has been actually a very motivational component of government's policies in supporting the sector of tourism. And of course, these are tough times, and we are hoping that all of you and all of us are going to sort of sail through these tough times. They are certainly not easy for any sector, and particularly for tourism sector, they are even more challenging because everybody is aware that that's the first industry to get hit and possibly the last one to revive. But all of us have to keep our hopes alive, and all of us have to keep working towards better governance and better deliverance. And therefore, one of the things that came up for discussions, as all of you have been meeting the Honorable Minister and have been meeting all of us also, is the claims regarding the SEIS. So Suman ji will of course be talking a lot about that part, but we will also be walking on the threads of the whole policy that when tourism is such a huge foreign exchange earner for the government and for the country, then how should we be taking the narrative forward for SEIS? And we as a ministry, you all know, of course, are always with you on all your all the things that you need from us for support. But today we'll focus on SEIS, and I will say a few things about Suman, because actually I can speak the whole 1 hour about her. She and I go back knowing each other since 1990. We happen to be from the same batch, and we happen to have joined the academy and the services on the same day. And interestingly, when Suman and I both came on the central deputation, also in July 2019, we came by the same order. So I think our lives were meant to be together, Suman, for all good things. And we are very happy today, therefore, to bring to you her expertise. Viewers, let me also tell you that not only is she already making some really landmark changes in the way her office runs in foreign trade, but even, as I say, back home in income tax, she's one of our most brilliant officers, and she has very wide experience, not only about the domestic taxation, but also on the arena of international taxation and transfer pricing. So Suman understands the nuances of international trade really well from the tax purposes also, and how the whole economy engine should move, you know. So I think we have the right specialist with us today. So Suman, welcome and thanks for your time. And we will of course be first hearing from you, and I'm sure there are many questions that are going to come along, and we would be very happy to, you know, bother you a little in the afternoon today. So once again, a very warm welcome to you, and thank you for taking our time. The web stage is all yours.
Thank you, Rupinder. I think I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much, Rupinder, and thank you so much to the Ministry of Tourism for giving us this web platform to me as well as to the industry to interact with each other, because now the physical interaction is not possible, as we all know. Initially, probably because tourism industry, as we all know, is probably aviation and tourism are the sectors which are the hardest hit by the pandemic. And this pandemic, I think maybe just to make a background, it would be appropriate to just discuss about the pandemics just in a short form, and then we can come to SEIS and technical part of it. We all know there is a global hit in the economy, maybe about 3% contraction, and the tourism sector, travel and tourism sector makes almost 10% of the global GDP, as far as global GDP is concerned. And one thing which I noticed about this pandemic is that there are three main differences between this pandemic and the earlier recessions, earlier financial crisis. This is not the first time the world is facing a financial crisis, but there are three major changes which I could visualize why this pandemic is so different from the earlier ones. First, it is a medically induced pandemic. Earlier pandemics or recessions or economic crises, they were all economic financial policies related. This is a medically induced pandemic. Earlier, 2008 global financial crisis, and this time the difference is, in earlier crisis, it was only the demand side which was hit. Now, here we stand at a crossroads where this virus, this COVID-19 has not only hit the demand side, but it is a two-way attack, the demand as well as the supply chain. The supply chain is equally disturbed as the demand is reduced. We don't know which way we will go. This supply chain is hit. And another difference is that this is a very immediate development. Like in economic crisis, what happens in financial crisis, that it gives us, the industry and the economy, some time to absorb it, because it gradually develops over the time. But this suddenly, within a period of 1 month, the entire globe is hit. All nations, the entire population is hit. So that's a very serious situation where we are presently sitting. Coming to the, after the global, in Indian economy also, we all know, the predictions are every day changing. The figures which are coming for the global Indian GDP are dancing somewhere between 0.02% to 2%. Nobody knows where we'll go, which way it will go. So in a way, it is very difficult to predict the uncertain. We don't know which way the world will go, which way the economies will go, and how the people will react. How the response of the people, we don't know. Within India, service sector is one of the very robust foundation of Indian economy. It contributes almost 60% of the Indian GDP. And realizing this importance, the government of India, as probably other panelists might be aware also, there are 12 champion service sectors identified by the government of India, realizing the importance of the service sector. Because service sector, we have the surplus in the service sector is able to finance, to offset at least 50% of the merchandise trade deficit. So service sector is of extreme importance as far as our Indian economy is concerned. And that is why Government of India has already chosen 12 service sectors, champion service sectors. And I think a corpus of approximately 5,000 crore is kept for developing those 12 sectors. And fortunately for us, for the industry, travel industry, tourism and travel is one of those 12 champion service sectors. So this is to just understand how important the Indian tourism industry is to the Indian economy. Now, if we see the impact of COVID, because still in India especially, the COVID impact started in other countries long before it emerged in India. In March, we were more concerned about the COVID, but the world has already started experiencing the hit of the COVID to different nations. And maybe that is the reason why there is an index, the Purchasing Manager Index of PMI index of composite, overall merchandise as well as service taken together. It was growing substantially from almost 49% to 57% till February 2020, composite as well as service sector also. But in 3 weeks of March, and we have figures only till 21st March. After that, we don't have the figures because of the lockdown. So 3 weeks figure of March have shown a decline in the PMI from 57.6 in February to 49.3 in service sector. Any figure which is less than 50 shows a contraction, and any figure which is more than 50 shows an expansion of the service. So service sector in India has taken a hit in March itself, even before the lockdown. Now, challenges before us. What are the challenges before us? First, number one, the travel restrictions, as we all know, which is directly impacting the tourism industry. Then the behavioral changes. This COVID is not going to leave us the way we were earlier. The word, it will be a new word, a new ways of living, new ways of spending and everything. So the behavioral changes incoming, even after the lockdown is open, there may be changes because people will be little wary to go out and move. So behavioral changes would definitely be seen. And as we all have experienced during this 8 weeks lockdown, the 75% of our economy is almost in lockdown for almost 8 weeks. So what we have already seen that life costs very less. We are spending so less. And it is mostly the lifestyle on which we spend on the money. And that is definitely going to be hit very hard because lifestyle changes are going to be there. People are not having cash and liquidity with them. So another challenge would be the less discretionary spend available with human resources. Because this tourism and travel sector, it is a industry which is quite a lot proportional to the discretionary spend. It is a leisure activity mainly. And now looking to the very less availability of the discretionary spend with the human, with the people, and as well as the corporates also, and even the government for that to some extent, the discretionary spend is going to be very low, and that will definitely impact the industry. So tourism industry has taken a very bad hit. Industry must be already gearing up. I know there must be some brainstorming going on towards this sector. What can be the measures when we open up, when the curtain lifts? We should be ready with answers. We may have some sort of measures which may be short-term, medium, and long-term measures, because we need immediate short-term measures as the moment the shutdown opens. And then to sustain, to survive for few months, we need some medium-term measures. And then to make up for the loss in long-term, what we are incurring right now, we need some long-term measures as well. So industry may be thinking, I know there are brilliant minds in industry. We are, Rupinder and myself, we are from the government side, so we don't have that much of exposure to the businesses. But this is what I could thought of. We have to devise new ways as far as tourism is concerned. One thing I would like to just support, which the tourism ministry is already doing, because I'm regularly in touch with Rupinder Barar madam, so I know what ministry is doing. This is the best time to encourage domestic tourism. And industry has already taken, sorry, not industry, the tourism ministry has already taken the initiative, and under their flagship schemes, Dekho Apna Desh, they are already releasing regular webinar sessions, every time picking one spot. That is a very good initiative also, and I think it is much more the need of the hour that we focus on tourism, because less discretionary spend automatically will divert the tourism from international towards domestic tourism. We have to find smaller gateways, because now with less money in hand, people may not be ready to spend too much. So we may have some weekend gateways, 2 or 3 days short tour packages for near the home, because still even after the lockdown opens, people would not be very much eager to go far away from their home. They would like to remain nearby. So maybe the short-term packages may be what the industry might need now. Then restaurants, the food, hospitality sector, it is, I think, almost 30% of the private consumption expenditure is spent on hospitality sector only. And there are jobs which almost account probably 12% of the total employment force. And this is one industry where it is expected that blue collar jobs, white collar jobs, every segment is going to take a hit. And probably 70% of the workforce might be hit by this COVID-19. So Hospitality sector is also very, very badly hit. It is almost shut down, except for the home deliveries, etc. But having said that, I believe that we need to find there are silver linings and dark clouds. So we need to see what are the available opportunities for us. What are the opportunities in crisis? And there were some green shoots in Indian economy towards the end of 2019 and the early first quarter of 2020. But unfortunately, now that's not the case with this COVID coming and hitting us. So the opportunities which I can see is, number one, as I said, domestic tourism has to be encouraged and propagated. Next, maybe the industry, the hotel, especially the hotel sector, to this restaurant sector. The restaurant sector has to maybe divert their manpower, resources, infrastructure, and maybe the liquidity, everything towards the home delivery sector. Maybe more focus can be on the home delivery sector, because that is the sector where there is going to be huge demand. Today's generation, they want food, and in any case, Indians love food. We all love food, so Indians can't live without good sumptuous meal. And in near future, we cannot foresee that we go out in an enclosed AC restaurant, sitting with unknown people, having food there. Probably that picture is not visible for near future. But of course, home delivery has to start, and rather it is already work functioning. And now within few days, once this fear of pandemic is little bit down, then the home delivery sector might see a very good increase. So we may focus on the home delivery sector, the drive-throughs and all. Coming now from the government side, as you all are aware, just yesterday and today also, probably at 4 o'clock, some announcements are going to be made. There are some fiscal stimulus given by the government. The government is trying to give more money in the hands of the people. There is a reduction in like 25% slash cut in TDS rates. Then EPF contribution is reduced. Then refunds, whatever refunds are there, FM has ensured the industry that all the refunds would be given in 45 days, and income tax refunds, especially excluding few categories, would be immediately given. So all these steps taken by the government are definitely going to give more money in the hands of the people. So that's a good sign for us, because then we can expect some leisure spending as well, some discretionary spend on tourism and hospitality sector as well. So these are potential things which the government is doing. From DGFT side, where presently I am working, DGFT side, the policy has already been extended, the foreign trade policy, for 1 year. Though I know the questions will be coming for SEIS, because that's the most relevant scheme for today's topic. Coming to SEIS, when I joined in DGFT in August, as Rupinder has told, that July we got posted, and I joined in August. So there were some issues in SEIS at that time, and especially few confusions in my mind also, which thankfully I interacted with the tourism industry. I have interacted with some of the panelists also, and the things were clear. So nothing. So that at least because of that, for maybe 1.5 months or so, that things could not we could not speed up the things. Then there is so much of pendency of SEIS. That is the main problem. There's so much of pendency of SEIS coming from earlier years, from 15, 16, 16, 17, many years. So now we are trying to just expedite as much as possible. And if I remember, I don't have the exact figure right now, but if I remember correctly, we might have cleared more than 1,000 cases within few months. But again, the number is very high. In the last week of March only, in 1 week after the lockdown, we received more than 300 applications. Despite lockdown, we have seen all those 300 applications, and wherever the deficiencies were there, we have sent. So we are trying our best to expedite, so that the money reaches to the industry, because we all acknowledge and understand 100% fully that this is the time that industry needs cash. Industry needs financial support, fiscal push, and a cushion as much as possible. So our efforts are to provide as much and speedy, not as much, but also the speedy support to the industry. Coming to SEIS, a few mistakes which I have seen, because of which there are delays, which the firms do. I think it may be a correct forum for me to just discuss with you, so that those kind of mistakes are not repeated in future, and that saves the firm also. SEIS scheme, I think I need not discuss in detail, because you all must be aware of the SEIS scheme. In case there are any questions, I will definitely take later after the discussion. In SEIS scheme, the first starting point is the foreign exchange, gross foreign exchange earned. Then we have to deduct the forex expenses. Whatever forex expenses are incurred by a firm for earning that foreign exchange are supposed to be reduced, because the basic purpose of SEIS scheme is to give incentive to a firm or to an exporter who has been able to brought foreign exchange in India in time. So that is why the scheme is designed in this way. Whatever foreign exchange you have earned in the year, whatever year it may be, the relevant year for that matter, whatever you have earned means gross minus expenses. So I have seen many cases where maybe it's because of the ignorance of the chartered accountants or the agents, whosoever is preparing. I'm not saying it is deliberate, but it may be the ignorance. So that is why I thought I will bring all these some 3-4 common mistakes. Some people claim on the gross amount. So first, it should be made clear that SEIS is on the net amount. So you have to deduct the expenses and then come on the figure of the revenue earned. Second, what kind of expenses are to be deducted? There are some confusions among some firms that whether the capital expenditure should be deducted or not, whether should only revenue expenditure or both. In our understanding, though FTP is not commenting on this because it is silent, I would not say silent because it says expenses. So once it says expenses, it means all expenses. There is no distinction between revenue as well as capital expenses. Like for the hotel industry. So if the hotel industry is earning some foreign exchange from foreign tourists, but then they import some, maybe some AC or another instruments for using in the hotel. So that is and they're paying in Forex. The money is going out. So this is the expenditure in Forex, which is you incurred for earning that Forex earning. So you have to deduct expenses from the gross revenue earned. So this was the second mistake. The first is you have to claim on the net, not on the gross. Second, how to calculate the gross? You have to deduct all the expenses, whether capital or whether revenue. This is more to the hotel industry. Travel sector, they don't have much travel expenses going out in Forex. Then third is, as per the policy and as per the clarifications also issued by the DGFT from time to time, only that much foreign exchange which is earned in that year as well as received in that year is eligible. So you might have raised a bill of $1,000, earned $1,000 of Forex income, but you have received only 800 by the end of 31st March. Rest 200 might be outstanding. So your claim should be on those 800 minus expenses, not on those 1,000, because the very purpose of SEIS, the purpose of giving incentive, because DGFT schemes are designed in such a way that whatever sector government feels needs a push or needs a support or needs to be brought forward, so schemes are designed according to that. Similarly, in Appendix 3D, which is the listing of services which are eligible as SEIS, some services are not taken, some services are taken. So it is not available to all the sectors. So the purpose of SEIS is to push those sectors which need support from the government angle, and where there's a scope of expansion also and growth also. So that is why only those earnings are allowed to be treated as eligible amount, which are earned in this year as well as received also in this year. So any amount which probably might be invoiced in the last year, which was outstanding at the end of the last accounting year, but you received in this year, that should not be taken into account. Similarly, any amount which is accrued this year, earned this year, but by the end of the year, it is not received in your bank account. So that should also be excluded. So if there are correct workings, that makes the case go more speedily. And there are some routine documentation issues. Earlier there were, before the lockdown, I'm saying, if you have filed an SEIS application, then you have our people, they ask for the hard copies of the documents, RCMC certificate, and there are many other listing documents. Now with lockdown, we have provided this facility. Please send us soft copies on email. We will consider them and we will process your case. Your case will not be stopped for want of hard copies, because that's not possible right now. So please send us soft copies. Similarly, wherever deficiencies have been issued, deficiency letters have been issued and cases are pending, please send all the required documents or information, whatever is asked in the deficiency letter. Please send us online reply. We will consider online reply and we will be processing your cases. So this is basically a few mistakes which I thought were necessary for industry to understand, so that incorrect claims are not made, because we have experience in many cases where these kind of maybe bona fide mistakes were there, but then it becomes a problem for that particular firm or the exporter. If there is an incorrect claim, then it becomes a cause of further action also. So please just, I will request you to make people clear about that. Now I think if people have any question answer, or you want to know anything from DGFT, I'm here to answer. So let's, Rupinder, I think we can interact, and I can interact with other panelists, and any questions or anything they want to bring to my notice. I would also like to request the panelists that if you have any suggestions also, which you want to give to DGFT for further policy frameworks, please give me. I can, though I'm sitting in field, I'm not in the headquarter making the policy, but I can definitely carry those suggestions and communicate them to my headquarter. So thank you so much, Rupinder. And I think now the floor is open for any discussion, because there is no point in giving a one-way communication. So I am ready to answer the questions or queries, whatever.
I think Madam Rupinder is not there. Maybe I can
Sure.
you some of the questions that a lot of things you have already clarified, and our people may have made a note of all these informations. However, still there are some queries that all the soft copies you need as the paper and duly certified by the chartered accountants are acceptable, or how it is?
Maybe probably right now, because chartered accountant we need, because chartered accountant is the person who is certifying that the information is correct.
Yeah.
So that should be necessary.
That should be necessary.
Yes.
Okay. And the self-declaration as per your requirement is all right at the moment?
At the moment, you just sign self-declaration, scan it and send it to.
Okay, there is no need to sending a separate chartered accountant self-declaration directly to you, or we will send you, that is enough?
No. For declarations, along with all the other information, you can make a file and send it to as a reply to the deficiency letter.
Okay. So the once we give the declaration signed by the chartered accountant, we submit it, that is good enough?
Yes, that is good enough.
Okay. And
Well,
you want all
I will also ask some questions. Pranamda, you finish your questions, and there are so
So
many on the side also. So
Yeah. Let
must
me
take all
finish
of them.
and
We are not letting Suman go till she answers all of them.
right.
yes, yes, of course. I'm all yours.
Thank you.
So you want all the invoices we should upload as per the requirement.
No, and here I would say something, because invoices, as far as invoices are concerned, there are so many of invoices. So
Yes.
it's not, that may not be possible for you. So maybe few sample invoices you can enclose.
And the FIRCs also, you want all of them or some of them?
FIRC, I think maybe right now what you can do, which I think you can make a listing which can be certified then
By the chartered accountant.
by chartered accountant.
All
And
right.
maybe when the lockdown opens, then you can file all those physical copies if needed.
Sure. One more, system you introduced when you came, because before you were not there. There was no need of submitting the balance sheet. Now you have.
Audit report, yes.
So you want a balance sheet. Now it is a original balance sheet will come after 30th of November. We cannot
I
wait
know.
till then.
With the
So there
extension
has
of
to be some shortcut in between that, if you can accept without balance sheet, or you want a provisional balance sheet certified with the chartered accountant.
I think that should serve the purpose. See, basically, as I told you, Pranabji, why I have started asking for this annual report, because when I realized that people are not deducting the expenses and claiming on the gross amount, not the net. So that was the purpose. Otherwise, we don't need audit report as such, because when there were incorrect claims which came to our notice, so as you are rightly saying, there will be provisional balance sheets. So if information can be given by the chartered accountant that this is the, as I just said, the accrued amount and the received amount till 31st March. 31st March is already over. So that figure he can certify from the provisional balance sheet. That's fine, because a report has been extended till October, so it's not going to come in near future, we all know.
Correct, because the situation is, as of now, as you rightly mentioned, there is a liquidation problem. And as soon as
Definitely.
we get this, at least this will help us to move
I
for
know.
4 to 5 months, to take care. And we do not know how long we are going to, suffer under the
That that
circumstances.
is that is the main issue, that nobody knows when, 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever, we don't know.
And if our billing is not happening this year, that means next year SEIS claims will also be reduced drastically, if you
Drastically.
look at.
Yes. Yes.
So we requested our claim this year that to enhance at least from 7% to 10%. Is it
I will.
possible?
I cannot comment, because I am not in the policy division, but I can definitely communicate your request.
This year maybe you will be losing out, but next year you will gain much more, because we will not be claiming as much as we are claiming every year.
So your request is that for 1920 it may be 7 to 10%. Then
Correct.
probably after for 2021 it might get reduced.
It will get reduced automatically. Even if it is the 7% or so, the claim won't be there. Maybe at time now,
I
for
understand.
example, we are claiming 1,000 crore, but it cannot be even 500 crores. So that is where there will be a difference
Yes,
in between
I,
our.
I have noted down, and I will communicate definitely.
Yes.
Suman, on this, I just need a clarification because a lot of people are asking this question that for financial year 1920, are you going to be giving it 7% or
Uh,
5%? There is some ambiguity among some people, it seems, on
no,
that.
I'll tell you, Rupinder. Right now, as far as 1920 is concerned, there is no notification by DGFT till now. Neither 5, nor 7, nor 10, nothing. Because what has been done, as far as foreign trade policy is concerned, it has been extended for 1 year. But as far as SEIS is concerned, because SEIS, what happened, the earlier notification, there was, as I said earlier, that SEIS is given recognizing the importance of the services, which services it should be given, which it should not be given. So year to year basis, it is that analysis is done, that which are the service sector which need a push. So they are included. So this Appendix 3D, which is the listing of services, that which was available till now was only till 1819. So there is no new appendix till now by the DGFT for 1920 or 2021. So as of now, where we stand today, this is under deliberation in Commerce Ministry in DGFT. Deliberations are going on, but the final listing of services, rates according to which service, that absolutely nothing right now available with us.
Okay.
So, but we are expecting it should come soon.
Okay, I hope that helps viewers. Also, there's a suggestion saying that the e-filing of the e-com application is not very friendly. Sometimes there are technical glitches. If you could, look into that, that would help.
Okay, this is
I can tell you viewers that if anybody can do it, she's the one. Well, that would be great if you can work with your technical team on this.
If I can get the specific problems, they can share with me later on after this session. So I can pinpoint those specific problems to the headquarters. The software is providing this is a difficulty.
Sure.
So it's
Sure,
better if we want to solve the problem, then we need to know what is the exact problem.
What is the problem?
Yeah.
That's
just let me know.
Yeah.
Also,
someone has asked that whether payment received through credit/debit cards through foreign payment gateways are eligible.
Whatever payments you have already received in your account, the credit debit card, that's absolutely not important. Whatever is received in your account, you have received that money in foreign exchange in India, it is eligible.
So that question was asked by Manjiri Patankar. I hope, Manjiri ji, that takes care of your query. Then there is a question from Varsha Didwania. She said, what will be the email ID on which reply needs to be submitted for a deficiency letter?
It is the same portal, the portal where you go for SEIS, from where you have downloaded the deficiency letter, you have to reply on the same only.
Okay. And Jay Kajaria is asking, he's representing a firm called Erudite. He says, please let me know the documentation required in case of foreign exchange received through payment gateways like CC Avenue.
Like?
CCA Avenue, CC Avenue.
I'm not much idea about.
Do you think, Suman, there would be anything different in terms of?
No. So see, the crux is, as I told, how the payment has come is not important. Whatever payment has reached to your bank account in foreign exchange, that is all you need to consider. How it has come, which mode it has come, that is not important.
Okay, and Vivek Rastogi has a question. In case of invoice raised in 1 year and collection in another year, then in which year is the SEIS to be claimed?
And that is a very big confusion, which I also explained just 10 minutes back, the common mistake, and there's not much clarity on this issue. I have explained earlier, but I'll again explain. Basically, the concept of SEIS is to bring foreign exchange as early as possible in the country. That is why SEIS is given. So only the invoices which are raised in a year, like we are saying 1920, if you take for example. So whatever invoicing you have done from 1st April of 2019 till 31st March of 2020, this is your base figure. Out of that, whatever you have not received in the outstandings, exclude them. They are not eligible for SEIS because you have not received the foreign exchange. So the answer to your question is only the invoices which are raised in a year and received in a year are eligible for SEIS. You cannot claim last year's outstanding received in this year.
Okay.
And this year accrued but received in next year. You cannot. So you have to just confine, it's a closed box, raised here and received here also within a same year.
Okay. So what happens when if it accrues in 1 year and actually receives in subsequent?
See, that's the question where, because see, what understanding is there that SEIS is for all the money, all the forex.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is not like that, because there are schemes of the government of India. It is on that, but it is not necessary that you receive incentive or on each and every foreign exchange you received. You will receive incentive only in the manner which is prescribed in the foreign trade policy. So if you have received in last year, accrued in last year, but received in this year, that portion you will not be eligible. So we need to understand that it is not 100% that you will get SEIS on 100% in some year, this year or second year or third year, because receivables will continue till 4 years sometimes. So it's not possible for officers sitting here also to know, and for even for industry also, because like industry, the receivables keep on coming every year. So still how long will go? We can't keep a 1 year claim for 3-4 years live. So I'm clarifying here again the same thing. Only which is accrued and received in this year, you please claim on that amount.
Okay. Good. So, I again see the CC Avenue question. It's a slightly different question. Also, they are asking, Pramod Krishnam is asking that, is FIRC mandatory for showing Forex earning? In the case of payment gateway service providers like CC Avenue, is a statement from them showing Forex receipts sufficient?
FIRC normally we used to call earlier because FIRC has the payment for which services. Because see, as I said earlier, SEIS is not available for all services. It is only for few services. And there have been some instances earlier where there are wrong classification of services. So just to ensure that claim is on the correct amount and the eligibility of the applicant, so FIRC we used to call because it has written on that the payment is coming for legal services. It is coming for hotel booking. So a broader classification comes on that. So that is why we used to call for FIRC. That is the purpose of calling FIRC. And sample, I would say it may not be necessary to file all the FIRCs because if you go in the right now, if I am correct, then we are interacting with mainly the tourism industry representatives, right?
Yes.
Mainly tourism.
Yes.
So in tourism and tours and travel, not much issues are there. Because other services, we have issues of management consultancy, whether services were rendered or not, all those issues. But as far as tourism is concerned or tours and travel, it is a very safe industry for SCIS that way, and limited information we need.
Great. And so a lot of
in tourism, FIRC is not of that much importance.
That's very good to know, viewers, that we are considered a clean industry. So, and coming from an IRS officer, that's a good certification to get, isn't it, Suman? Suman, a lot of people are asking that when can they apply for 2019-20?
Again, as I told, there is no notification as of now. You cannot apply. Only after the DGFT notification comes. I am also not very sure when it will come. I'm also hoping it will come soon. It is under deliberation. Some deliberations with Ministry of some Revenue, Department of Revenue are going on. So right now, nobody can apply. But as soon as the notification comes, after that, according to that notification, you can apply.
Okay. And Mr. Pramod is asking that, is RCMC certificate required separately from the IEC number?
Yes. RCMC certificate is because RCMC means that you have to be, you are supposed to be a member of Service Export Promotion Council, SEPC. So that is the RCRC certificate, and that is one of the requirements for claiming SEIS as per foreign trade policy. Though right now for COVID, according to DGFT notification issued recently, whatever RCMCs were getting expired in this period. So I think 6 month extension has already been given. But RCMC filing is a must. It is a pre-requirement as per policy.
So Mr. Arun Verma has a question. He says that we raised invoices in 2017 and the client went into a dispute, and the money has now come to him in April 2020, very recently. He says, can I still file a claim of SEIS?
No, see, there are two things. One is that he has already filed a claim in 2017 for other receipts. If that is the case, then he has already filed one SEIS. So probably he may not be able to file because two SEIS cannot be filed for a year. If he has not claimed anything at that time, no SEIS claim has been made, and now he wants to file, I think with the late cut, it should be allowable. There's a late cut fees payment. It should be allowable, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody, Sudha Gupta from Delhi wants to know, it's a somewhat related question, but I'm not so sure whether the question is complete. Want to know that if we have not claimed SEIS benefit in the last 2 or few previous years, can we claim it in the current year?
Yeah, you can claim with the late cut. In foreign trade policy, there are times given. Otherwise, you are supposed to claim within a year, I think, 12 months. But if you are filing late, then then what happens? Whatever is the eligible amount, there is some cut in that.
Okay.
So if they go through the foreign trade policy, the relevant chapter, the conditions are given there.
Okay. So Suman, from what I can see from a lot of these questions, they are concerning a lot of procedure. Do you have any FAQs on your website, or is there a way that everybody can run through?
I don't think for SEIS specifically, there may not be.
Okay.
I'm doubtful.
Can you possibly think with your team if over a period of time?
No, now what I am doing with my team is I'm trying to devise sort of SOP, because we had earlier, I think Rupinder, you were also there. Mr. Sudhanshu Pandey has taken a seminar, if you remember.
That's right.
I think we both were there. Yes. So in this seminar, I had proposed that we can devise industry-wise SOPs of the documents which the firms may file at the first instance to reduce the time of processing. So that work is almost complete from my part. I'll give it to DGFT. So that probably will help the industry, because like if there is a tourism industry, so what additional documents we would like to have in that? If it is a management consultancy service, then obviously we would like to have the copy of agreement as well. So according to the service code, we are trying to devise a standard list of documents which need to be filed with the claim. So that might be of some help to the industry. So my work is almost complete. I'll be just sending my report to headquarters.
Yeah, I think that should really help. Mrs. Sarkar, do you have any more questions or anything to ask of Suman, because we have a few more minutes to go?
Yes, I have, because one of our member have asked that when we receive the remittance in INR, Indian rupees from abroad, so that is also considered as foreign exchange earning. How it is?
I'll tell you, these are only few specified sectors. Again, it is available in Appendix 3D, like port receipts, the cargo handling charges within the port area. There are few sectors where if you have received Indian rupees, so that is deemed foreign exchange, but only limited to those few services. As far as tourism industry is concerned, this is not. The Indian rupees receipt will not be considered as deemed foreign exchange.
But it is come from the foreign bank only, because now rupees is convertible foreign exchange. So some of our client, they pay equivalent to Indian rupees. They don't pay in dollar or euro, but they remit INR to us through the foreign exchange remittance services.
Because as far as present policy is concerned, it is not allowed.
It is
the it is not allowed. Indian rupees receipt cannot be treated as deemed foreign exchange, except those few services which are specified in Appendix 3D.
If the bank gives the certificate?
No, I don't think that will because see, it is a question whether in principle the Indian rupees received, Indian currency receipt will be treated as foreign exchange. So that is specifically given for, I think, 2 or 3 services, that's all, not many. So it is a very small list. So we cannot add any.
This clarification is very important from our side, that you should put forward that our members should not lose out on those areas because of the frequency changing, the dollar rate and euro rate. Some of our operators, they feel that if they can send the rupee rate of the rate of exchange of the day, they are.
I think you're.
In that case, we are the loser.
Maybe you can send me a suggestion just in detail, giving the modus operandi of the mode of payment. Just give me a suggestion. I will definitely send it across.
One more question by one of the members, that sometime this MICE business, which is going to grow in future also, that their MICE business is happening after 2 years, but advance received 2 years in advance. So that means that portion of the foreign exchange earned in advance 2 years, will that be accumulated and claimed after 2 years when it is happening? Because advance remains unserviced for 2 years. And after 2 years, when they utilize it, they can take it as a full receivable and then claim it as a full amount.
This is a very a new scenario. See, our foreign trade policy, unlike the Income Tax Act, is very short. If you see the SEIS provisions, it's only one page, that's all. But as I told you earlier, in my understanding, any foreign exchange which is received before the close of the year, there is an outer limit. So in this particular case, which you are saying, in my understanding, because this is a unusual case, but in my understanding, even if you have received the advance, you did the services after 2 years, you can make a claim in that year because you have already received it.
Correct.
So it is the outer limit. 31st March of the year is the outer limit. If you receive later, then there is a loss. But if you receive earlier, there is no loss. The money has come to India for an exchange. So government will be very happy with that.
Okay, that means that
Yeah.
advance received, that can be claimed a year of service provided.
I think there should not be any problem.
We can write to you, maybe a written clarification will help us in that matter.
If you have some specific cases, you let me know.
Okay, sure.
Case wise also, because see, clarification from DGFT I cannot give because I am not empowered to give the clarification. that has to come from the head office. I'm the regional in charge.
Okay.
But if you have specifically cases in my charge, you just let me know the cases.
Okay, then we have to write to SCPC directly to Mr. Dawar office, or where it is?
For this clarification?
Yeah.
No, and not SCPC, DGFT headquarters.
DGFT headquarters, yeah. Okay. Fine. And the last one which I have received is this, as you said, this RCMC is extended till September.
Yes.
Now, under this lockdown situation, we do not know till September how it will be. So we have recommended that it should be extended to 31st March 2021. So how about that? What is
Sarkarji, what I believe, because as you have also said, I have also said that this pandemic is like shooting in the dark. Nobody knows when it will end.
Correct.
So right now, the government has already increased for 6 months. If situation is that grim even after few months, then probably these, because see, DGFT is also issuing notifications as and when required basis. So I don't think there should be any problem as far as this issue is concerned. This is a very technical kind of requirement.
Correct.
It is a technical requirement, so that it should not be a problem. But abhi to 6 mahine ka diya hai. Just let's hope and wish ki zarurat na pade or extension ki, and things sort out earlier. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think, I didn't realize that it's almost an hour that we've been talking about the subject. And Suman, there are so many questions still coming. But I think very thankful for a lot of clarifications that have come. And participants and viewers, don't you agree? It's not always about getting all your queries answered, but the fact that the department and the government is standing with you to answer your queries is a great morale booster. And I think these sort of initiatives are great in creating a sense of confidence amongst the citizens that the government is there for you. It is there to help you out. One suggestion, Suman, therefore, someone has sent, Mr. Nitin Shorawal has said that, is there a nodal officer who can be appointed to resolve the grievances? Suman, can you look into that if that could happen?
No, I see. It's like I have only one officer who is in charge. So what? In any case, whatever deficiency or whatever emails they send to my office, I'm not talking my means to me. In general, to my entire office, generally I see each and every email personally. I see personally. So I'm the nodal officer for you.
Wonderful.
I'm the nodal officer for you.
Right. You can't get a better nodal officer, viewers. So, Suman, unfortunately, we are coming to the close of the time. That's
just give me 2 minutes, Rupinder.
Yeah, so I that's going to say that. Do you want to say?
Yeah, I just to make the industry a little comfortable, I would just tell you, because as far as my office is concerned, lockdown started, and then after that 2 weeks we could not come to office. But I will definitely like to appreciate my staff also here. Despite the lockdown and so much of fear, my officers and my SEIS staff, they have been coming daily, and we have disposed within the lockdown period when the offices were not even open. But we used to come somehow for 2 hours only for SEIS, and we have disposed 200 applications, more than 200 applications. And now, despite the files, see, now the fear is of the files also. But we are taking all the risk, and we are trying to process. Tours and travel is a special drive I have already undertaken in my office. I have got a list of all the tours and travel cases, the SEIS pending. Now I have already decided and focused and given the list 0 to 10 lakhs claim, 10 lakhs to 25 lakhs claims. I have the figure with me also. For 18-19, I have only 29 cases where claim is more less than 10 lakh. Then I have 20 cases where it is 10 to 25 lakhs. So as far as tours and travel is concerned, I have taken it as a mission, and we are going because the smaller industries need a better cushion, better support. So first, I am clearing all the lower amount applications till 25 lakhs. I think 67, 68 cases we have already issued the SEIS. So don't worry. As far as tours and travel is concerned, I am personally taking a keen interest to see that this sector at least gets the claims wherever eligible claims are there as soon as possible.
Great. That's very assuring and reassuring, in fact, that we have Ms. Suman Sharma herself stepping in as the nodal officer, as the person who's looking through all her emails. A lot of queries got answered. I'm sure there will be still many more. Keep sending them to her. And if after some time, after a few weeks, if we feel the need for another such session, we will again request.
Let me know.
We'll again request Madam Sharma to come on board. But at the same time, I think I would also put a lot of responsibility on all of you that do read the nitty-gritties, do spend some time before you apply for your claims, because it creates better engagement for you also, so to not have to go back to issue clarifications and keep running around between the offices. So once again, Suman, thank you so much for coming on board with us.
Thank you so much for this session.
I also like to
thank you, Mr. Sarkar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma. You are very wonderful. You clarified a lot of things. If there are anything more, we will definitely
please let me
know. And thank you very much for your offer, and we'll be more interactive.
Yes, and thank you for all the participants who have joined in. And we need all of you to use these platforms, because we are doing it for you. And we want you to use these platforms, and we shall continue to bring you more such capacity building and solution finding webinars till we are not able to do it physically. So in the meantime, as I always say for my morning webinars, सतर्क रहिए, स्वस्थ रहिए और अपना ध्यान रखिए, और हमारे 11 बजे वाले webinars को भी देखते रहिए. So Suman, once again, thanks
so much.
Yeah.
And good luck for your webinars, domestic tourism.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Yeah.
Bye.